Hi, we're doing this thing. I told you I was doing this. Pardon the wind. There's 30 to 40 mile per hour winds going on, and I'm 20 stories up, so that's happening. I've got a pretty good episode today. I do, because this was the biggest missing piece for me with manifesting, and it only took me up until this year to kind of figure it out. And once I figured it out, I just completely dropped all resistance. I completely let go of any anxious attachments. I had immense amount of clarity around this is the key, people. But as you know, before we get into the episode, we've got a yap. I mean, my God, I need my own reality TV show. I just do. If you're watching this, you're in production, I'm ready. Like this, you can't make this up, right? Now, the love life. Brooklyn. I can't explain this situation. And my friends are like, oh my God, would you stop? I'm like, no, but he's different. Uh-oh, that's how you know I'm in deep. I hate that he makes me smile. Stop. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't smile. I'm an introvert, believe it or not. I know I'm sitting here in front of a camera, but I'm an introvert. A lot of times in my relationships, friendships, I feel like I'm constantly having to entertain, and it's exhausting. With Brooklyn, I feel like I don't have to do that. Like for once, I can just sit back and either let him be, the comedian, or just chill. That's what I like about him. Yeah. And then there's just this other side to this dynamic, connection, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Doesn't bother me. There's this side that's so wild, exciting. It's really fun. And I like having freaking fun. I love fun. I play video games for fun. I like to go on roller coasters for fun. I like to have fun. And a lot of times these guys, girls too, are just painfully boring. People are painfully boring. And I find a lot of people don't have hobbies. That's my latest stipulation. The other day, I go to his house. The first thing he says to me, he's like, hey, want to give each other like an injection of sorts? I don't know. It was like some supplement. I didn't even read the label. I was like, yeah. The next thing I know, our pants are on the ground and I've got a needle in his ass and he's got one in mine. I mean, that is a modern romance. Okay. Nothing screams romance quite like injecting each other in the ass with something that you don't know what it is. Wow. What a rush. Without showing my cards here, people. Too much, right? Things have been picking up a little bit. Terrified. And in the last couple of days, I was like, whoa, we've got to pump the brakes. We got to do something else. We got to start going on dates. We got to just distract and detach, folks. DD. I'm going to make merch one day that says that. Detach and distract. I know those are trauma responses, but boy, is that useful in this scenario. As much fun as we're having, he's still not showing me that this is worthy of commitment. For me, I think a lot of times these guys, they think that, we're like, do you want commitment with us? I can only speak for myself. It's the complete opposite for me. Okay, it's the complete opposite. I am judging you. I'm judging you so hard. You have no idea. I know how I show up for other people. And I need to see if you are even remotely going to reciprocate the love, right? The effort, anything. Your version of it, however you express your love. But the days of me doing one-sided, it is done. Fucking done. So done. A boy will tell you, a man will show you. I'm really focused on myself. I'm going to hot Pilates at least 5 times a week. I went to the face gym. Place is amazing. I'm doing all these things, supplements, eating healthy. Again, you heard my spiel last episode. You can't touch my energy right now. You can't touch it and you can't break it. I'll keep you posted here. Okay, I'll keep you posted, but things are definitely getting interesting. Very interesting. Now, completely unrelated to my love life, I couldn't help but notice the last 2 weeks that my life was absolutely falling apart. I stopped dead in my tracks. It was after the 10th inconvenience. And when I say inconvenience, I really mean catastrophic, traumatizing event in a short span of time. I stopped in my tracks. I said, what the fuck is going on right now? Stuff over here, stuff over there. The next thing I know, it just was non-fucking stop. One after the other challenge. I just I didn't know what was going on. I was being put through the ultimate test. I couldn't make this up, okay? And towards the final boss, I just cracked. I haven't broke down like that in a really long time. Not even a year ago. I'm talking 4 or 5 years ago. I broke down similarly, but nothing quite to this caliber. I was screaming, I was crying, I was on the floor. The point of telling you this is right after this mentee B of mine, I read a book, 100 Essays to Change the Way You Think. That night when I went to go read, I opened the book to this specific chapter about how to know your life is about to change, right? This is when you know something big is coming and there's going to be massive change and it's going to be for the better. You're stepping into a new timeline. That's what happens when everything is falling apart. That's when you know. So something massive is coming because whatever the fuck happened the last 2 weeks, I mean, you'd think. I was like, okay, this area of my life is currently up in flames. That must only mean one thing. Something else. This door is clearly closing in my face. Hard. I'm in between the door and the universe is just jamming the door before I can even slip out. You know, like it's a lot. That's how it felt. And it clicked. It clicked. After reading that chapter in the book, I was like, whoa, 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 because I've been here before. And yeah, my life fell apart and it got exponentially better. You do all this work, you really do the healing, the spiritual practices, you get to this rock solid point where you can identify, oh, this is a challenge and it's trying to teach me something. It's trying to tell me something. What is it trying to tell me? Now, not everything has a meaning, like don't go fucking crazy and into spiritual psychosis, but you get what I'm saying. This wouldn't be happening for no apparent reason. And not only is something better on the other side of this door that's clearly closing, multiple doors, all of the doors are closing, okay? Not only is there something better and a better timeline waiting for me on the other side. This is when you level up, right? But whatever's being shown to me, all of the challenges, the craziness, the universe is showing you right before you level up the parts of you that you still need to heal. That is the truth. And I had this epiphany last night. Because here's a little story. Here's what happened last night. It was honestly kind of ridiculous. I knew I had a tendency sometimes to be taken advantage of. This is like such a deep-rooted theme, belief about myself. This has shown up throughout my life. From friends, romantic interests, whatever. This has always been a thing in my life where people will take advantage of me. I'll let it happen. It's this thing of like, I have to do XYZ to get you to like me. Or you'll never like me, or you'll leave me. It is a core abandonment wound. What is an abandonment wound? Well, it's from childhood trauma. I'm sure you could pinpoint a time when there was an adult in the room who made you feel emotionally unsafe. I don't know. Back to the story. I thought I had been doing a really great job at setting boundaries. As anybody who knows me, I've cut, I'd say 70% of the people I had in my life out. Like they're gone. They don't exist in my life anymore. But there were still some lingering, there still was just like a lingering abandonment wound of me feeling like I had to go above and beyond for people. And it's always left me feeling disappointed throughout my life. My doorman and I get along really well. He's the nicest guy I thought, right? Like really good guy, always went above and beyond for me. And so every now and then I tried to do nice things for him. For Friendsgiving, I had people come over, they bring champagne that I'm never gonna drink. I give it to him, he was elated, right? I try to do random acts of kindness for him because he's shown me that he's a good guy. And yeah, I'm like, okay, this is like safe for me to like kind of be myself with this person. Now, fast forward for Valentine's Day, he was working at the front desk and behind him were all these flowers, balloons, the whole thing. Yuck, right? Whatever. I made a joke and was like, oh, are those for me? And he was like, ooh, yikes. No, nothing's come for you today. I'm sorry. That blows. I'm like, no, dude, it's totally fine. I really don't give a shit. I go back to my apartment. Later that night, I go downstairs to pick up packages. My doorman went and bought me the most gorgeous bouquet of flowers. I almost cried. He was like, I just want you to know how appreciative I am for everything you've done for me. It means the world to me and you deserve this. I was like, holy shit, wowee. Okay, so I'm getting positive vibes all around. Now, last night, I get a text from him at around 10:30 p.m. saying, hey, I'm really embarrassed to be doing this, but my ride, who's supposed to take me home, got in a car accident. Would you be willing to call me an Uber? I'm a dingus and have my red receipts on, so I had to address this head on. I also was thinking to myself, well, why not? Maybe he doesn't have the money, and I'm sure it's gonna be like a $20 Uber. Like, I don't know, how far could he go? That wasn't the case. This guy, that Uber, it was an hour away. It was $100+ Uber. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa. Now, it's not about the money, but it just was like, something's not right here. And I immediately felt it in my gut of like, I think he's taking advantage of me. Does he think like I'm a sugar mama? Because this is totally not the case. Like, I'm sorry to have deceived you. This isn't like Bobby Ball out here. We're all trying to survive right now. I was a little bit disappointed with, it was odd. He was like, so did you call it? Did you call it? And I was like, yeah, I called it. And then he gets in the car. This thing went the complete opposite way and then back down, almost like he went to go pick up somebody. So it made the bill even higher. And then today, like, no acknowledgement of it. But I could not sleep all night because I kept going back and forth of like, was this a test and did I just fail? The answer is yes. Yes, I failed. Because this was a test to see if I would set a boundary and be like, no, sorry, I really can't. Or like, I don't know, it's still so fucking conflicting. Because I don't know, maybe he really did have no other option. But it's a pretty bold thing to ask somebody if it wasn't a serious situation. I was really beating myself up. I was like, what is wrong with you? Why did you do that? You always do this. You always get taken advantage of. When will you ever learn? By this point, it's 5 a.m. I'm like, I gotta go to sleep. And just tomorrow, we'll sort this. Tomorrow, we're gonna claim our energy back and we're gonna get to the root of this. Whatever this is showing me, this test, this experience, right? And so that's exactly what I did. I woke up in the morning, I did a deep meditation, did a little bit of journaling, and really tried to pour into myself and quiet the mind. And that's when it hit me. This theme, this is it. This is the theme that I see time and time again. And if I want to level up to the next level, to receive all it is that I've ever wanted, it's going to require me to set boundaries and be good at setting boundaries and not letting people take advantage of me or my kindness. Anyways, that's my rant. That was a lot of yapping. Now, getting into today's episode, this is a big one. It's related to all of this whole thing, right? Of course it is. I'm not senile. This is what I wanted to tell you guys. It's 100% why either your manifestation won't show up or it comes in the wrong package. You know what I mean? Like, it's the wrong package. Here it is. Being a master manifester and being able to manifest anything you want successfully, exactly as you intended it, is to have a really clear why. Why the fuck do you want this thing? And I don't want your bullshit. Don't even think about it with me. I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the bullshit. If you don't have a clear why, I promise you, you'll manifest the cake, but it'll be made out of staples and worms. Okay, it's just not the cake you wanted. And this happened to me in the biggest and worst way possible. One of the biggest things I tried to manifest in 2024 was opening my nail salon, Tips and Tarot. In order to do it, I needed to manifest $1 million. You heard that right, $1 million. But guys, I wouldn't be sitting here with a microphone teaching you how to manifest if I couldn't confidently say I'm pretty fucking good at manifesting. Like, I am. There's no limitations that I put on myself, none. I believe with my whole heart and every cell in my body that I can manifest whatever I want. And I say that without shame. Like, I genuinely mean that. And so can you. And that's what I'm trying to get you to believe. I was manifesting this from a very wounded place. I was manifesting this out of fear of finances. Like, if I didn't do this thing and if I didn't get the money fast and open the nail salon, I'd be a failure and I'm going to be fucked because I'm miserable at this other thing. And I need to do this. I have to do this. for all the wrong reasons. Now, this was a totally fine thing to manifest. It's something that's sacred to me. It's something that I want with my entire being. But at what cost? And because I was manifesting from a place of impatience, lack of trust, not trusting that there could be other ways that this manifestation could come about, I got a cake made out of absolute dog shit. You can't rush these things. And if you truly want it for the right reasons, you'd be willing to wait for it. So I manifested the $1 million. I manifested the retail space. I manifested all of it and I got it. But that $1 million, it got to me fast. And even the loan broker, the people involved, everybody involved was like, how the fuck did you do this? On paper, you don't qualify for a loan this size. You have no experience running a nail salon. In their 20 years, they had never seen a bank approve an SBA loan of this size to someone like me. I did everything in my kit and caboodle to get this thing. But the universe gave it to me almost as a test. Because the terms of this loan, the circumstances around the retail space, such as a really shitty, sleazy landlord, this bank, this loan would have absolutely fucked me if I went through with it. I would be bankrupt. They also wanted money from me, which they did take money from me over the course of working with them, which was the biggest no-no. I didn't care. I just wanted the money so I could do this, so I could prove everybody wrong, and so I could do it fast, and so I can just escape this situation and this miserable life that I felt like I was living. You know what I mean? You see what I'm getting at? And I missed the point. I missed the point entirely that there were other ways to go about this if I would just have patience, trust the divine timing of the universe, that I would have been able to do this anyways on the right terms. And as a result, as I mentioned, Tips and Tarot imploded. Put me down about 50 grand. This sucked. Okay? And it crushed me because I also identified so heavily with this nail salon. It became my entire identity. I became dependent on this thing working out, so help me God if it didn't. When this thing imploded, I lost myself. But what I really should have been doing was working on myself, focusing on myself, still working on my self-concept and empowering myself, detaching from this thing, having full faith and trust that this was going to work out if I just stuck to the real why I wanted to manifest this thing. And I guarantee I would have been in a much different position, because there are plenty of ways to get the money to do any type of business. There's plenty of ways, plenty of resources. It didn't have to be this loan. But if you told me at the time that there was other ways, I would have literally snapped your neck. That's how intense I was. Shut up, don't tell me otherwise. I've got this. You're not gonna distract me. I know best. Boy, was that a rookie mistake. You gotta get clear on your why. Why do you want $1 million? It should always be, if not this, something better. Because if your why is something like, I value love. That's my why. I want to manifest love because love is so special to me. If you want to manifest money or a career or being your own boss, why? Is it because you want to help people, or do you just want to be in a position of power? And is that coming from a place of greed? There's no shame though in wanting the $1 million. There's no shame in wanting to be your own boss or open a business or get married. You have every right to all of those things. You will get all of those things and you deserve it. But it's why. When you're going about it, is it this feeling that evokes anxiety, or you have to prove somebody wrong? Is it coming from a place of you needing validation to prove your worth because you don't believe you're worthy? You see where I'm getting at. It's so critical to being a successful manifester, because there's this book I read. Oh my God, what is it called? It was about mastering your mind by a doctor, and he talked about how he became a billionaire with his own private island, and then he lost it all because he wasn't clear on his why, and he just wanted to escape poverty and prove everyone wrong, and it was this thing, and instead, he forgot to manifest the core values behind it. Freedom, happiness, joy, love, companionship, these sacred things. Take whatever it is that you're after, break it down on a piece of paper why you at this current time want this thing, I guarantee you that list will start to shift into an entirely different list. You'll start to realize what is actually important to you. That will become the thing that you want to manifest. And sometimes when you focus in on just manifesting those themes more so than the object, like a G-Wagon, the fancy job that you think you want, the beach house, all of these things, 99% of the time the universe gives you 10 times better. A lot of times we have a tendency to limit ourselves. We want to do this thing, but really we're going to achieve the same things we're after on a totally different path. And again, I'm by no means saying you can't have anything you want, because if there's anything I preach on this channel, you absolutely can. But watch how much faster you manifest things when you get clear on the why. Now, to finalize this thing, put the cherry on top, you know what I mean? Once you know your why, feel it. Absolutely embody it. So if it's love, if that's what's really important to you, focus on the feeling love within you. I will say this, I think, on every single episode. We don't manifest what we want, we manifest what we are. When you're getting clear on the why, you're also getting clear on the feeling. It'll be 10 times easier to evoke that within you. And a lot of times, if you're struggling to find the feeling, you're manifesting this thing from this wounded place, you'll probably notice that what's being mirrored back to you in your reality is a lot of that wound. I would bet anything. I would. I said it. Damn. This was a long one, but I'm happy I did this, and leave a comment down below on what you want me to talk about next. I'm happy to answer questions or, I don't know, touch on a topic that you're curious about. I'm totally open. Moving forward, I'm going to try to bring on guests. I want to do tarot readings live and also for you. I haven't ironed it out just yet. Just know that's coming, and if that's something that you would like to see, leave a comment down below. Now, I'm going to be late for dinner. It's pitch black outside. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting me. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. Do whatever it is. I would really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you. Bye.